Congratulations and thank you to Georgia for helping Biden win the election and helping USA get an American president again. We let the dogs out, and we're the ones who did it. The left, Antifa, the protesters, all the Black Lives Matter protesters, the student protesters to save the environment, to save the planet, and the student protesters to stop crazy gun nuts, and just everybody together, but especially the Black Lives Matter protesters recently, and racial justice being one of the main issues, or the number one issue that almost a quarter of people responded is why they were voting. So thank you for helping get rid of Trump and defeat Putin. And since we got rid of, put down Putin's puppy, I'm saying it's time to go after the top Terry poo, topple the top Terry poo, Putin himself, and also his other lackeys like Mark Zuckerberg and even the people who run YouTube and stuff, who are messing with our search filter so we can't find protest videos, doing all sorts of suppression stuff. Facebook has been the worst by far. They've been the one just trying to hand this to Trump, and who probably handed it to Trump in 2016. So we need to do something about Facebook. But yeah, we let the dogs out and won this state for Biden and helped win the election for Biden and for America. And it's kind of ironic that, they're taking so long to announce it. Like, they don't, no state with Republican control wants to be like blamed for the one who put the nail in Trump's coffin. But it's like, I saw Hamilton for the first time last night, and it makes you think of things like the history versus the moment. And in the moment, Trump's just trying to cling desperately to power, and everything he does, reveals him more and more as a traitor and anti-democracy. And history will judge him by those things. Like, the sooner he concedes, the most American thing for him to do would be to concede. And the sooner he does that, the less other things he will do, he has time to do to to make history judge him even worse. I mean, I'm sure history won't look kindly on Trump already, but hopefully he won't do anything any worse than he already has. But these last things of just challenging democracy and encouraging his supporters to try to stop the vote have been some of the worst, and we're not going to stand for it, and we'll let the dogs out on them too, one way or another. But thank you, Georgia, for standing up for democracy. Oh, and it reminds me of a conversation I had earlier I wanted to mention, where the phrase, restores my faith in democracy. It reminds me, maybe this is partly from watching Hamilton, it reminds me that we have faith in democracy, and we've always had faith in democracy. Some people have lost some faith in whether, in our democracy, in whether a particular country has democracy. You can easily lose faith, and probably rightfully should lose faith, in whether in countries' democracies. But in the idea of democracy itself, it works as well as we work it. And it looks like we worked it well this time. We did the right thing. We can trust the vote, things like that, and that's good. Suggestions otherwise are anti-democracy. They're not. I mean, if it's true that there's fraud in whatever, if there's any type of fake votes or something like that, they should find them. Of course, that's part of preserving democracy. But saying that it doesn't work, or saying that it's not true when it actually is just anti-democratic. It's just trying to challenge democracy itself. And it's good to see when it does work, and when we work it well to get a good outcome. But it's also shocking that there's this many people who still voted for Trump, honestly, to me. And it shows we have a lot of work to do to change things and make sure that these ideas and movements don't arise again. But it's great that we turned Georgia blue, and look forward to the announcement, because the sooner everybody does everything they can to shut down Trump, including from his own party, to tell him, hey, you can't say this stuff anymore, and you're just going to lose all the support you had and reveal yourself as a crazy crackpot, the better. And we need to go after these media companies that have enabled him, and Putin for enabling him, and just trying to foist fascism on us. We've got to cut that out everywhere, and we can help do that as a new American Antifa era, which is overdue. But when we get to it, I think we'll be hitting the ground running, and go dogs, because we got them. And thank you a special thanks to all the election workers. I forgot to say that in my last video. I made a video just last night, but to all the election workers, thank you for preserving our democracy by doing it right and not being intimidated by the Trump mobs. But thanks a lot, and y'all have a great day, and happy new era of restoring democracy and restoring America to American control.